All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is the live market observation, volume 66. So we're back at it. Today's Thursday. I think it's the end of the month, March 31st. We're going to do some observation, take a look at the markets, see what's happening. Today was a very good week. I saw many of the recordings in the group chat. Group chat is 24-hour way of communication that we use to share videos, recordings. We do a lot of observation and recording because we document our process and we document the journey where we're utilizing the process that we are being trained to execute in the market. And by the way, if you're new, and just for anyone that's just making their way on, be sure to like and share the video. Whatever platform that you're tuned in from. Those of you tuning in from Facebook, be sure to like and share the video and follow the TeamAlliance Facebook page. Also turn notifications. Those tuning in from YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like and share the video, turn on the bell notifications. And for those of you tuning in from Twitter, be sure to like and share the video and then to retweet on your timeline. All right. This will make sure that more people are able to be notified that I'm live. I am going to make every effort to do more live observations, whether they be coffee and charts or these live observations that I do in the evenings or at night as my time becomes more available. Got so many things going on, it's crazy. Where I'm working on things, I got family engagements and things that I need to do. So it's a lot. It's a lot to try to juggle everything all at the same time. But I will make every effort to do more observations and even to perhaps throw in a live training if I feel that we need one. We've been actually doing very well in the group chat. So I really haven't felt compelled to have to do a live training because the existing trainings that you have are more than enough for you to get a full grasp on the process that we use in the market, whether you're doing horizontal or vertical. At this point, I mean, there's way more than enough for horizontal, of course, but right now there's a lot for vertical also. The trainings that I've done, especially the last one, I think it was 65. Which was actually a live market observation. So it wasn't even an official training. But there is a lot of training material in the live observations. That's why many of you who are not in training yet are receiving the advantage of a lot of the knowledge that you'll fully understand when you actually get into training. Oh, I had also wanted to mention, if you're not a member of the public TeamAlliance Facebook group, make sure that you join that as well, because that will ensure that you receive all notifications, even if it doesn't come through on the platform that you're on. Because a lot of times, you may not get it from the actual social media platform, but for some reason, you'll always get a notification through Facebook in the groups. So I'll post in the group and you'll get the notification that way, even if you miss it, for example, from YouTube or from Facebook or from Twitter. All right. So make sure that you join the public TeamAlliance Facebook group. And that is underneath this video in the description box. You'll see it. All right. So tonight, I think that I'll probably talk a little bit more about horizontal, because that's what I'm seeing, or at least what I'm seeing the potential for. Overall, we still don't have small candle dominance yet, but because the market is moving somewhat slower, we may see it at some point. Like, I'm just going back and I'm looking at what the market has been doing up to the past few hours or so. It's not really much going on other than gray area. Looks like there was some, well, no, actually, this is when the market was closed. Yeah, so this was during the market close from 5 to 6, so that don't count. But ever since 6 o'clock, it just looks like there's just overall gray area. I don't see momentum that much. See a couple of instances of some longer candles, but no momentum. And I don't see small candle dominance either. So you'll find that a lot of this is just market observation the majority of the time, but that's okay, because this platform, you don't need a lot of trades to be profitable and to make a lot of money. What you need is the consistency of winning the trades when you do end up in one. So you want to be able to have a process that you can use that always allows you to know the outcome of the market movement before you enter the trade. This is super, super important. You need to understand the behavior of the market beforehand. If you come on any trading platform, not just NADEX, but if you go on any trading platform and you just try to trade without understanding the behavior of the market that you're attempting to trade, you will eventually be slapped silly, if not right away. Sometimes it doesn't take long, but sometimes you get away with doing things that you have no business doing in the market, win some trades, but they are not good wins. But Mark, all wins are good. No, they're not. No, they are not. It's not good when you win and don't know why you won. When you don't understand why you won the trade, what good is it? Why am I saying that? Because you can't duplicate what you did. You don't even know why you won. Mark, I do know why. Because I bought and the market stayed above the line. But why did the market stay above the line when you were in the trade? Why? Well, it was trending. Really? Okay. Market trends all the time. It moves in both directions throughout the trend. So what if you happen to be in the trade when it's moving in the opposite direction in the trend that you thought the market was moving in? What do you do in that instance? Uh-oh. So again, if you don't understand why, it doesn't make sense because you won't be able to do that repeatedly. And you can only be lucky but so many times. Luck is not something that is duplicatable. If that was the case, everybody would be lucky and everybody would have good luck. But luck just simply means unknown. It might happen, it might not. That's luck. So the same way that someone's lucky, someone's unlucky. The same way that somebody can lose consistently, they can win consistently until they lose. Just like you'll lose consistently until you win. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some people will say, oh man, I keep losing. But as soon as they start winning, then they say, wow, I'm on a streak. My luck changed. No, your luck didn't change. You're just experiencing the other side of luck. But it didn't change. It's still luck. So we don't deal with luck here. We deal with skill. So the difference between skill and luck is knowing why. See, when you know why, that's called skill. Because it means you can take the know-how and your understanding of why, and you can either choose to do it or not based on knowing why. Man, why did the market move that way? Oh, well, it moved that way because currently it's really not stable. Oh, it moved that way because the overall environment is faster or slower. You see what I'm doing? I'm going through why. Question should be, why did the market move that way? Now, why did it do that? Oh, well, the market does what it wants. It does. But the question is, do you know what it wants to do right now? Ooh, that's hard. Do you know what it wants to do right now? That's the question. See, we know that the market does what it wants, but we can know why the market's doing what it's doing at the time. So we know what it wants to do now. Wow. That changes everything, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about behavior. Why the market does something is called its behavior. The market does what it's already doing. What does that mean? Well, it will continue to do what it is predominantly doing. Wow. So if gray area dominates, guess what it's likely to continue to do? It's likely to continue to stay in the gray. The problem with the gray is that it's the unknown area. In other words, market is doing all type of things. Big candles and little candles. A mix of both. Both color, two colors of the candles. 1 minute is going in one direction, then another minute is going in the opposite direction. Gray area. Speeds up, slows down. Gray area. Trends. but then it starts reversing in the middle of the trend. Gray area. See, this is very helpful what I'm doing now, because a lot of times you don't know that it's in the gray area when you're trying to trade. If you did, you wouldn't trade. Wow. So if you're wondering why you keep losing trades, it's because you're trading during the gray area times. I guarantee you that. And basically, during gray area times, there's something not stable in the market. But Mark, it was moving and holding. Well, what dominance did you have of the candles? Were they large or small? Well, candles were not, they weren't too big and weren't too small. Gray area. Uh-oh. So you see how observation and study and learning how to understand the movement helps you to understand what the market's doing at the time and whether or not that fits into the process that we use to identify stability overall. The market has more than one layer of stability. The more layers you have present, the more likely you are to know the outcome of the movement. When you understand all of the layers and you know and recognize when they're present, guess what? You know the outcome of the movement. Wow. It's a full understanding of why. Damn, why did the market not move past that point? Let me move this box up. I'm moving the box up right now just to where the candles are. I'm not lining it up with the lines at the current moment because I want you to see what the candles are doing currently. And if you look at what the candles are doing right now, you can see that they're still too big for horizontal. See, even though they're all in the box, they're too big. Let's see how big these are real quick. That's a whole pip. 1.5 to 0.5 is a full pip. That's 10 micro pips. So this one red candle right here is 10 micro pips alone. Let's look at this one. This one is 9, 7. This one is 9. This one is 8. Look how big the candles are. So if you're wondering, man, I wonder, is this small candle dominance? No. Candles are too big still. But what you're seeing is the market is starting to move horizontally. You see that because they are staying in the box. So the fact that they're moving along horizontally, yeah, that's one manifestation of the market starting to stabilize for horizontal. But the candles are too big. So the range layer is not present. Aha. So if it's not ranging, that means that there's still nothing to do. So you see how I just eliminated the possibility of even being in a trade at the current time. If I'm only seeing one layer of stability present, it means that the market is not fully stable. And I want the market to be as stable as possible. What does that mean? It means that I don't just want to see one layer of stability. I want to see all layers of stability. But Mark, how long is that going to take? Does it matter? Who cares how long it takes Knowing that it happens is more important than knowing how long it takes. Mm-hmm. Why? Because the fact that you know that it will happen means that you'll see it when it happens. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. This is interesting. I just saw this. My daughter-in-law kept telling me that trading binary on NADEX is sinful. And she asked me to stop. What are your comments? Keep sinning. Keep sinning, you sinner. I'm making light of it a little bit. I mean, the notion that something is sinful implies that you're doing something against the law. Sin is transgression of the law, biblically, yes? Oh boy, I gotta take you out of church real quick. Oh boy. Sin is transgression of the law. In other words, sin is when you break the law. Now, whatever the laws are that indicate that you're doing something against it, that's what sin means. So to say that it's sinful to trade on this platform, that would mean it's sinful to buy stocks too. You shouldn't be investing in anything because that's what it is. At the end of the day, all of it is quote unquote speculation, right? You don't know. I guess some people would call it gambling. But guess what a gamble is? Just think about what a gamble means. Gamble means you don't know the outcome of something. And you're betting money by guessing the outcome. That's what gambling is. You have no idea what the outcome is going to be, but you bet on what you think the outcome might be. That's gambling. There's a big difference between that and having an understanding of how something works and then capitalizing off of the understanding. Way different thing. So it's just like if I transferred knowledge of something to you and I taught you how it works, you in turn take that knowledge and apply the knowledge. And then you make money from it. What's that called? Because it damn sure ain't gambling. But anyway. Yeah, I wanted to address that because I saw that question just now. So those are my thoughts on it. I think that it's ridiculous that someone would even say that. Horizontal and vertical. Well, I mean, visually they are self-explanatory. If you look at how the market moves, you'll notice that there are times. Take this little area right here, just for example. There are times where the market is moving from left to right for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. The market literally stayed in the same area and moved left to right. That's horizontal. The stability aspect of this is when all of the layers of how the market moves comes together and does this. So not only is it just moving from left to right, but it's also respecting the levels that it is not moving beyond. That's what we call barrier. In addition to that, the candles are also predominantly the same size. And they're smaller candles, they're not bigger candles. So when you put all of those pieces together, what you're doing is you're taking multiple layers that represent stability in the market and you're pinpointing a period of time that the market is producing that stability. When this lines up with the strike prices, the lines that are going across, when it lines up with the strikes and the market positions itself relative to the strikes, that's when trades come during stability. And when those trades come, those are the only trades that we'll ever participate in. We don't want to participate in anything else. So that's what horizontal stability represents. Then you have times where the market looks like this. Same 6 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For 6 minutes, the market pretty much moved in the same direction. It didn't move left to right across. It moved left to right up. And don't confuse this with a trend, because technically, if this is a trend, you had 2 red candles in the trend. You had one back here and you had one over here. So you had 2 down moves in the uptrend. And it becomes confusing when you try to identify a trend as up or down. I don't see this as a trend. What I see this as is vertical movement. It's the market moving continuously in the same direction. How do I know that? All the candles are the same color. And I'm talking about these 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 candles are all blue. Look at how it looks. It looks like vertical. Up. It's up. Starts down here, ends up here. So vertical stability is when you have this same type of candle behavior, but the candles are even bigger. They're even bigger than these, doing the same thing. Candles are moving up, but they're moving up through the strikes, and they're the same color. See, so when you have momentum behind this vertical movement, it creates vertical stability of the movement, because the movement becomes so overwhelming that you know where the actual market's going to move through. You know that the market's going to move through a strike. See, this is how your understanding of the movement elevates. So instead of you being confused and saying, oh, here's an uptrend, so I could have bought. No, you don't buy just because it's an uptrend, quote unquote. Because like I said, there were 2 red candles in this uptrend. What if when you buy, one of the red candles comes down through your strike price? So it's more to it than that. You see? So vertical stability, you're learning how to interpret when there is momentum behind the movement that is going in the same direction. In other words, the candles are the same color, and not only are they the same color, but there is continuation of the movement. which continuously produces the same color. Just like if I asked you, well, why are all these candles blue? Blue represents that the market started at one position and ended higher than where it started. That's what produces each of these blue candles. It started at one place and it ended higher during the next minute. That produced a blue candle. So for example, this started here. Next minute, it opened up here where this ended. It opens up here, went higher. Next candle, it opens up here, went higher, blue candle. Next candle, opens up here, went lower first, but ended up higher, produced a blue candle. So you see, there's an understanding of market movement. See, it's not just about direction. This is what I've always said also when I talk about binaries. People try to identify what direction the market's moving in. The market's moving in both directions. Just make no mistake about it. Just look at what it's doing. Hold on. Look, pay attention. If you look at this right here, the market is moving up or down. Both. It's moving up, moving down. Up, down. Up, down. So when you're trying to figure out what trend is present, this is the problem that you go through, because there's no trend. There's just movement. So you're trying to understand the market from the perspective of trend instead of understanding the market from the perspective of its own movement. What does the movement mean? So in other words, when you see these candles, we can take currently where we are. If you just look at these, when you see these candles, what do you see? Red, 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 blue, blue. It's like, damn, well, what does that mean? It just simply means that there is movement currently that is taking the market from one position, going to another position, stopping there on a dime, and then turning around and going back the other way. And you'll notice that the market will do this until it starts to move horizontally or until it creates momentum and starts to move vertically. Because even these moves, like this movement here, this doesn't represent vertical stability. This is just upward movement because the market is moving in the same direction over the period of time, but there's no momentum in the movement. So just like when it gets up here, it's like, all right, it gets up here and then it decides to go red. Now you got the same type of movement going down. So what is it that you're trading? You don't know. And it's because the market is not clear yet on what it's doing. This is why I call it the gray area. When there's not enough of one or the other, it's gray. What's one or the other? Horizontal or vertical? Which one is it? And it's either transitioning into one or the other. The market is transitioning into horizontal or it's transitioning into vertical. And everything in between is the transition, which I call the gray area, which you shouldn't trade in. Why not? Because you're guessing. We don't want to trade when we have to guess. The only time we want to trade is when we know. I want to know what the market's doing. It's just like not understanding dominance. So for example, if you know that there is larger candles overall, and then you get to an area on the chart where the candles are smaller, and then you see a trade come, And then out of nowhere, a big candle comes. And it comes in the opposite direction. Just like this. Can't make this up. You see how I boxed this area? If you looked at pricing a moment ago on this option, this was in the 20s. Because the market was down here at the bottom where you see this blue wick. The market was just down here a few seconds ago. Now it's up here. So if you sold down here, like, yeah, I think it should stay down there. Well, this behavior is already here. Look at this candle and look at all the other candles to the left of you. Don't this candle look like these candles? Look. Isn't there a lot of these bigger candles? There's a lot of these bigger candles. So this right here is a trick. You're looking at these 3 smaller candles and you're trying to trade off of that. That's not what's dominant. What's dominant is the larger candles. And if the larger candles are dominant, that means that that's what the market will do. Because the market does what it's doing already. So when you see that move come up and you're like, damn, that came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. It didn't come out of nowhere. It came from somewhere. It came from what it was already doing. See, but you wouldn't know that if you don't study and observe. How are you going to know that if you don't even understand that movement is already present? You're thinking that this trade setup is going to be good just because it's set up. Oh, look at this. This pricing on the option. Look at this pricing. This should be a good trade. And then you take the trade based on that, ignoring the current actual behavior. And then this candle appears and you're like, oh, shit. Right when you're about to enter into the trade. And then it just goes bloop, opposite direction. And this happened to be on the candle before the last one. So if you were observing, at least you would have had a chance to not enter. But what if this was the last candle? What if you were in the trade already? And then this candle comes out of nowhere, according to you. It didn't come out of nowhere. This is the activity that the market is currently doing. Just look at the candles to your left. This is what the market's doing already. Look at these candles. So you see, I'm not even teaching you something that the market does that's magical. I'm just teaching you how to observe it. I'm teaching you how to see it. This is what the market does. It does this. So that should have answered the question. And y'all feel free to ask questions. This is it right here. We don't guess. We either know or we don't trade. Come on now. That's it. That's it. That's what we do. So Omega, that was a good question. As far as the difference between horizontal and vertical. And within each one, there are layers of stability. All right. So, for example, when I just talked about vertical, you heard me mention momentum. Why is that important? Because if the market is moving in one direction, just think about how the market will continue to move in that one direction. What would need to be present in order for the market to keep going in the direction it's already moving in? Just think about that logically. What would you need in order for the market to keep doing what it's doing? If it's already moving in one direction, how can it keep moving in that direction? What would prevent it from coming back and moving in the opposite direction? Answer that question. What would prevent the market from moving in the opposite direction of the direction that it's moving in currently? And when you answer that question, the answer to that has to be a part of what creates stability. This is, see, it's logical. It's logical. Whatever it is that would cause the market to keep going where it's already going, that's what you need to have. You need that. There it is. Momentum. Momentum is how something continues to go. Many times you'll hear me say momentum will force the movement to stabilize. So in other words, if momentum just comes into the market, you'll notice that not only will the candles get big, but the candles will get big and they'll remain the same color. If momentum comes in, the candles will get large and they'll stay where they go. If there's enough momentum, you'll see the candle move and it'll keep moving and it'll stay. What do I mean stay? For the minute, each candle represents 60 seconds. When you have momentum present, the market starts in one position, which is wherever it left off from the previous candle, and it'll keep going. Same direction. In other words, the candle that is current will be the same color as the candle that's behind it. This is why I told y'all to save that video that Melanie posted today in the group chat, because that was the textbook movement that I referred to. You saw how the candles looked. They were the same color. Same color. And you heard what I said on the last live market observation. You need to write it down. Long candles, same color. Doing what? Cutting through the box. This is vertical. Here we go. Look. Law of physics. That's it. Apply to TA stability and financial increase. It ain't sounding like gambling no more, huh? Sounding more like just waiting. Just wait for it. Uh-huh. Yes, 100%. 100%. Yep. Dominance of behavior. So, all things being considered, again, if you learn how to understand the movement of the market before you start trading, that is how you gain the advantage. You gain the edge over other traders, because other traders don't trade that way. They let trades dictate their decision to trade. What do I mean by that? They let the trade setup determine if they trade or not. We don't even see a trade setup until the market has presented the right environment and behavior for the perspective that we're looking from. So for horizontal, we know what the right environment and behavior looks like. For vertical, we know what the right behavior and environment looks like. And until we see the right environment and behavior, there is no trade. That's the opposite of how everybody else trades. Everyone else disregards the market movement. They're using some type of lagging indicator. They're using signals, or they're just using luck. Oh, yeah, hopefully this one will hold. It worked last time. Let's see if it works this time. This one looks good. Let me take this one. Luck runs out. It's not duplicated. It's not repeatable. Nobody just goes around just being lucky all the time. Why? Because whatever the thing is does not keep doing the same thing all the time. Whoa. Listen to what I'm saying. Why does luck run out? Because the thing doesn't keep doing the same thing. What am I saying? The market doesn't keep doing the same thing. It's a bunch of gray area stuff going on. And you mess around and go and try to trade in the gray area, you might win, you might lose. Keep trading in the gray area, eventually you lose. Because you don't keep flipping heads. Eventually you flip tails because you keep flipping. So we don't flip. Instead of flipping the coin, we become the coin. And we got the coin with heads on both sides. We know the outcome of the movement. That's why we know the outcome of the trade. And again, we don't care about the trades. What's more important is recognizing the right environment and behavior first. If you don't have the ability to do that, you have nothing. I don't care what platform you're using. I don't care what you're trading. I don't care which market it is. If you don't have that, you don't have anything. And it'll be the reason why a platform as powerful as NADEX still don't work for you. Oh, I tried NADEX. It didn't work for me. I tried TA. It just didn't work. What didn't work was your patience. See, patience is what pays you. Because patience is what allows you to wait. Everything I'm describing, horizontal stability, vertical stability, they take place in the market. You just have to wait for it to take place. When it takes place, that is the only time that a trade that you see is one that you should be in. If it's not there, that's not the trade you should be in. So I teach you to ignore the trade. Nah, the market's it's not fully stable. Nope, it's not there yet. Nope. At the same time, you're developing patience. So you stop saying, damn, I ain't get a trade yet. See, impatience is what makes you say, I didn't get a trade yet. Damn, I ain't get a trade all week. Man, when am I going to get a trade? You're in trade mode. And as long as you remain in trade mode, you'll lose. Because it means that you're flipping. You're flipping the coin. Yep. This is true. Rose said, I hate when people say they try something out and that something works for sure. They don't even go about it as instructed, yet they want to misinform others. Very, very true. Very true. Yeah, they want to leave reviews and talk about how it didn't work, talk about what's wrong with it, and oh, well, what's missing from it is this. Well, if you knew what was missing from it, you wouldn't need it. If you know what's missing, what you need it for, you would have never needed it in the first place. Because whatever's missing from it, you can go get it from somewhere else. But that's not what people do, is it? They just talk a bunch of shit. And really, it has more to do with them just giving up. And it's really it's no one's fault that you gave up. It is what it is. Some of us never give up. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've had times when I have dealt with different markets and different platforms and different trading instruments. I broke laptops. I destroyed my own property in my house over anger and frustration. Did all that. Lost, broke laptops multiple times. Why? I mean, just think about that for a moment. You get angry enough to break the very thing that you need to trade with. You need the laptop. How are you going to trade if you break it? I did that about 4 times. Never gave up. People used that, like people I knew, like, oh, you still trading? Yeah, I'm still figuring it out. Well, damn. When you gonna figure it out? I don't know. I'm gonna get it though. Mind you, this was me doing it. This wasn't me actually learning from someone else who knew. This was me figuring it out. This is why I say that when folks run into TeamAlliance, you have the blueprint now. All of my pain and frustration, you're avoiding all of that shit. You don't got to deal with none of it. Only thing you got to do is work on your mindset and become patient. That's it. Just be patient. You don't even have to put no money on the line yet. Develop the skill first. But is that what you're doing? Or are you rushing to try to get to the money first? Oh, okay. Be honest with yourself. You chasing the bag? Mm-hmm. It's crazy. See, like one day when eventually I think I will write a book because there's a lot. There's so many experiences that I've had just throughout the years and over time. It's crazy. You have to realize in 2006, how long ago was that? This is 2022. So that was a long ass time ago. 12, 6, that was 16 years. Yeah. So 16 years ago, I can't believe I'm even saying that. That just sounds nuts. But 16 years ago is when I quit my job. The last job I ever had. to trade full time. Understand what I'm saying. I left a job, a good job. I was making close to 6 figures on that job at that time. I think I was making like close to 90,000, maybe 80 some thousand, something like that. Yeah, about 85,000. 85,000, benefits, all of that. 401k, all of that. I had it all. Left the job to trade full time. So that meant that by me leaving the job, I have to be able to trade. I'm leaving a job to now do something that has to replace the income from the job. This was 16 years ago. Left the job. And at the time that I left the job, I was trading profitably. So of course I made sure that I knew what I was doing at the time. And at this time I was trading Forex. This is why people always, they talk to me about how Forex is so much better and this and that. I've traded Forex for years. Forex was what allowed me to quit my job. So understand I have a passion for the markets, period. And Forex happened to be the best market that was available at the time that I was aware of. So I leave the job to trade Forex full time, like a crazy person. And make no mistake about it, that's crazy. That's not normal. Who does that? Who you know that ever did anything like that? Left a job with benefits, a good job. I didn't have no problem with the job. I just knew what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do that. Like, I ain't working forever. I'm just not. So I figured out how to use Forex to replace my income from that job. So anyway, I've replaced my income, and that same year when I left that job, I was making more from trading than I was from the job. So that was like, my peace of mind was knowing that I was capable of earning more money from trading than I was making from the job. So just fast forwarding over, the span of several years, ran into so many different issues. Just like, with anything that you're doing on your own, when you're in business for yourself and when you're doing things independent, had to deal with different trading platforms, had to deal with brokers manipulating, their instruments on the platform, unscrupulous activities. I had to deal with all of this stuff. Hopping around from platform to platform, looking around for a better platform to use, right? Looking for a broker that's not trying to cheat me. All of this. This is all that stuff I had to go through. So it kind of gives you an idea why I'm so passionate now about having a platform where I don't have any issues. NADEX. Like people say, oh, well, you must be getting paid by NADEX. No, it's not that. NADEX has proven to be a platform that is fair. They pay out. It's regulated. There's no issues when you make money to withdraw your profits. It's in your bank in 2 days. And it's an exchange, which means that if you know more than other traders on the platform and they trade against you, that's who you'll be taking profits from. That is a fair deal. See, so it's not about the platform trying to get my money. They're not trying to take anything from me. They collect a fee on both sides. from you and from whoever else is trading on the opposite side of you. It's called fairness. And if the platform is fair, it comes down to what? Skill. Whoever has more skill, they're going to be the one on that platform that makes the most money. That's why I love NADEX. So understand that during these 16 years, I had to deal with all of these different things. So by the time I started sharing information and sharing what I was doing and doing videos and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, I found what I'm looking for. This is it. And I mean, by that time, by the time I ended up on NADEX, I had already gone through so many different things. It just was like, yo, I don't know if I'm ever going to find a trading platform I can use. And then I found it. I found it. And I'm not saying that it's the only one, you know, that you can use, but it's the only one that allows you to do what we're doing. These are binary options. These derivatives are crazy because the simplicity of what it allows you to do. You don't got to figure out trends and direction and all of this other stuff. All you have to do is understand market behavior, understand how to apply your understanding of market behavior, and then apply that to your trades. And if you keep doing that over and over again, you'll consistently earn money. And then on top of that, you're able to scale, meaning that you can make as much money as you want to. You don't got to start big to get big. Uh-oh. You don't got to start big to get big. You grow your account slowly, consistently, and on purpose. See? We don't waste our time trying to trade. Oh, well, Mark, I'm only making $18 on the trade with one contract. Yeah, but you're only at one contract for now. Remain consistent and see how your contracts grow. Follow the spreadsheet. Follow the spreadsheet. Next thing you know, you'll be at 10 contracts. Halfway through the spreadsheet, you at around 16 to 20 contracts. Halfway through. By the time you had 30 trades, you had hundreds of contracts. Same trades, same account, same contract, same one contract that you started with, that same $100 grows on purpose. Why? Because of your skill. See, the skill set here is the ability to remain patient and wait for the market to become stable and then deliver the trade. That's the skill set. It's crazy. This is it right here. It's everything. And see, the thing, what's crazy is that mindset is everything, but for most people, it's the last thing that they do. This is why, see, when you come into training here, it's the first thing that you do. This is all facts. Control yourself, you control your income. Yes, very streamlined. Yep. Yeah, regular options is, and I've traded those as well. I've traded literally I've traded everything in existence with the exception of some commodities. I didn't trade like all of the commodities, but I did trade commodities as well. One of the things that I used to trade on the CBOE, I think was frozen concentrated orange juice. I think I traded pork bellies too, and wheat and corn. It's crazy. Traded futures, traded options on futures, traded stock and index options, OEX, SPX, all of that. Traded stocks. I remember I was one of the first customers on E-Trade. They told me that. They said, wow, you're one of our first 100 customers. I was like, what? Literally. Crazy. Yeah, without mindset, you can't do nothing. Can't do nothing. Right. No substitute for it. Exactly. And that's why the lack of it will easily make people start and not finish. Yep. Oh, wow. You don't even got to count with them, right? He said he work at E-Trade. Man, you found TA, that was it. It was a wrap. Yep. Yeah, I still have my E-Trade statements. My account was looking all right over there too. Um, yeah, it's good just to be around any type of like different software programs and getting inside knowledge on how just overall things work behind the scenes, with companies dealing with the markets. Definitely. It's just good to be around it, Like I've always been around it. And I've been exposed to Wall Street from when I was very young. Sometimes I tell that story too. When I was 16, there was a guy that was a broker. He worked, I think, for Bear Stearns at the time, either Bear Stearns or Solomon Brothers. Yeah, I think it was Solomon Brothers, because then Solomon Brothers later they merged with Smith Barney, and they became one company. But yeah, he was a broker with them, and he had hired me to be an apprentice. So I lied about my age, because at the time I think that you had to be 18. I said I was 18. I was 15. Just was lying. But I didn't care because I wanted in. So he ended up hiring me, and that's how I learned about what brokers do, all the cold calling. Like literally, we used to be doing like 400 to 500 calls a day, just on the phone all day. They used to be getting yelled at, because it was mostly younger dudes, 20s, like from 18 up. I'll say 18 to like 23. These are kids either straight out of high school or in college, trying to, learn how to become a broker or whatever. So that was a learning experience, and just being exposed to, that aspect of the financial markets. It was crazy. It was crazy. We used to be calling all type of people, doctors and lawyers, vice presidents of huge companies. They used to be lying, talking about they an executive vice president. and they'll, whatever stock they pitching at the time, that's what we would be talking about. It'd be one stock, and everybody was trying to get, people to open up accounts with that one stock. So, yep. Yeah, man. I mean, and I've always said that too. Like wherever you work at, definitely you want to just absorb and learn something from it that will be useful for you later. Definitely. Yeah, but there's nothing like developing, this skill in the market for real and being able to, apply your ability in the market and make money, man. I mean, it's just nothing like this. There's nothing like this. That's why, I'm empathetic, but I don't really have sympathy for when people give up. I just don't. I'm like, you giving up after a few months or a year. So I'm like, you realize how long I've been doing this for? With no guidance at all. Nobody helped me. There was no one to help me. I didn't have nobody. I had to figure shit out. You got TA. Shit. I'm like, do you realize what's happening? You have this. I had nothing. Yeah, but anyway. Yep. So, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, yo, hold on one second. Let me refresh this page. Hold on. All right, that should be it. Put the screen back up. All right, there we go. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, the day gonna come. And look at what he's saying. He said, I'll leave eventually because I'm not deviating. Man, do y'all realize how powerful that statement is? See, a lot of times people do deviate from what I'm teaching them. They deviate, fuck up their account, and then quit. And that is very unfortunate, but just like I say all the time, I'd rather you not trade. Don't trade yet. Give yourself the time that you need. Because you got to work out all of your bullshit before you start actually dealing with, money in the account, contracts. It's psychological. You got to get past a lot of your bullshit before you really start engaging with the market. Because the market is not playing with you. So it's more valuable and more of an asset to you to develop the skill first. The skill is the asset. Come on now. The skill itself. And it's a skill set, mindset being at the forefront. The skill is not just you being able to trade. The skill is you developing the patience and the discipline that you need to only be in a trade at the right time. See? So it's about waiting, observing, studying, understanding, and then just applying that over and over again. Let them trades come to you as your understanding elevates. Them trades will come. You got to look for them. They will appear. That's how this works. I think I did a whole training one time about the power of nexting. In other words, you know how we look at the 130 mark and then we observe. And when you take your quick glance and you see that it ain't there yet, you just say next. You know how powerful that is? Next is discipline and patience in action. When you say next, that's the discipline and patience working. Let me see what this is. 6'8", 6'6". See, so here, for example, you don't have your barrier fully established yet, but this is one of the first instances I'm seeing where there was even your candles looking that small, but you're just not there yet. Still not there yet. But you're starting to see now at least some transitioning into what can become horizontal. What just happened to the candles? Oh, there we go. Yep, you're seeing some transitioning. But like, for example, you know, someone who doesn't understand the process might look at this and say, oh, look, there's a setup there. No, this is not a setup. Not for us. Now, we can look at this to see if the market would position itself after the fact. And then that would be the first instance of us seeing it. But other than that, this is just simply you seeing transition still. See, like nothing happened. It could have. You could have had some continuation of the smaller candles moving across and a barrier potentially establishing itself, but that didn't happen. But you see how I just opened up the ticket just to take a closer look at the movement because I wanted to see how the market would move. I didn't do that because I'm trying to get into a trade. It's just observation. See, I mean, like this is so powerful, man. It really is. It's so powerful. And you're being trained to understand how the market works. That's the best thing you could ever learn. Because when you understand how the market works, you'll understand how to trade. See, the objective of trading is to be profitable. Ain't nobody here trying to trade just for the purpose of trading. That's not what we're doing this for. Yep. What do you say to people that just say that you are just gifted? I would say that I'm gifted because I never gave up. Being gifted as something means you don't stop until you make it happen. Person isn't born just learning, not even learning, just knowing how to do something. It seems like they are. It seems that way. Oh man, he was always good at this. No, he always worked at it and became good at it. So by the time you saw him in action, he was good. But there was work that went into him becoming that good. So hard work can beat what you think is a talent that somebody has. So in other words, if I outwork you, I could actually develop the ability to do something better than you. If I work at it hard enough and long enough, and I do enough study and enough practice and enough over and over and over and over and over and never give up, I can become better at it than you, regardless of what it is. See, some people don't believe that, but it's true. It's true. Look at this. Talent eventually will lose the hard work every time. Some people just have both, but if you're talented and you don't put in the work, good luck. Exact. So talent ain't enough. It's not enough to just be talented. See, I realize what talent means. It means that you have a natural inclination to do something. But guess what? If you don't practice, that ain't enough. You ever see, and I've seen this many times, I've seen people that are homeless, like literally living on the street with extraordinary voices. Like they sing. People like, addicted to alcohol and stuff like that. They can sing their ass off. They sound better than damn near everybody that I've heard. I'm like, yo, that's crazy that he sings like that. Living on the street. Now, he's homeless. He's homeless, but he still can sing like that. What does that tell you? Even though he's homeless, he practices singing all the time. That's what he does. So he sings his ass off. Like, damn, man, he shouldn't be homeless. Well, who knows what other things played a part into him being homeless? Because I'm pretty sure that it's by choice. Has to be. Doesn't want to be bothered with a bunch of other shit, probably. So he chooses that. But he can sing his ass off, though. And the way that we look at it is like, man, if you sing like that, man, you can do something with that. Like, can you do something? Maybe he doesn't want to. So he just sings just because he sings. This is what I'm saying. Like, so if he sings better than people who are quote unquote professional singers, it's because he literally does it all the time. It's not just about natural singing ability. He got to just be singing every day. Everywhere you go, he's singing. And I kid you not, I've met multiple people like this. They just sing. They be on the subway singing. They'll sing and then ask, for money or whatever. Anything y'all can spare, blah, blah, blah. And they start singing. You like, oh my God, how does he sing like that? Like, what is that? Why are he on the street? Come on, man. So it's more than just having talent. They always use LeBron as an example. Yeah, it's easy to do. Arvo says, even if you use Curry, people say, how does he do that? You've seen the video of 103 shots in a row. That's because he does it over and over and over and over again. Bingo. Right. Because he has a natural inclination to play basketball. He also outworks your ass. He outshoots you. And any player that elevates to that level is doing that. They're outworking everybody else. These are the ones many times that end up, being on a championship team or being an all-star. One or the other or both. There's players that's incredible. They just ended up on the team and they never got a championship. But when you look at their ability and their stats, it's crazy. Allen Iverson, for example. I don't think Iverson ever had a ring. But if you look at his career, he's remarkable as a player. He was crazy. His crossover was impeccable. And it's like, damn, how does he do that? Practice. Rinse and repeat. Over and over, over and over. So next thing you know, you're doing it so often that now it becomes something that you kind of doing in your sleep. You're doing it when you eat. When you're doing something, you're thinking about doing that. It consumes you. You become the best at it. Or one of the best. Right, look at this. If he didn't put in the work, he would just be another good shooter. Right. Versus being the best. See, there's only a few. There are a handful of plays that you can actually say, damn, he's the best. You know, you'll debate between those handful of players as far as which one of them is the best to you. But then you got everybody else. Like, oh yeah, he's pretty good. But he's not on that list of, damn, he's the best. He says so many good players, but those who outwork everyone stand out. Just how life goes, there are other factors like how they grew up. Yes, but come on. Yeah, period. Period. Yep. Yep. I remember I saw an interview with Michael Jordan. He said he sleep with the basketball. Just listen to that. He said he sleeps with the ball. I'll leave it right there. So I would, just for the sake of helping people to understand what TA represents. TA represents the Bulls in the 90s. When Phil Jackson was coaching them. The Bulls had Michael Jordan on the team. But the Bulls were led by Jordan and Phil Jackson. So it was Phil Jackson leading Michael Jordan and Michael Jordan doing what he does best to inspire the other players to elevate. So what they created was a machine. Now, you play that team, even if Jordan is not in, you still are dealing with the effects of Jordan. Even if he ain't in the game, you thinking about everything that's going on. Like, damn, he got these dudes trained. And it's as a result of the leadership. Phil Jackson knew exactly how to put all of the players around who? Jordan. He knew exactly what plays to run at the time. He knew what to do when Jordan wasn't in. A lot of times Jordan wouldn't even be in a game and the other players would step up. BJ Armstrong come out of nowhere shooting 3-pointers. What's the other dude, the little short blonde dude? Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr come out of nowhere shooting threes on you. You're like, damn, Jordan ain't even in and they whipping our ass. Jordan not even in the game and the Bulls is beating the shit out of you. What does that tell you? This is what I'm saying. They created a machine. So this is how you take one player and you elevate a team. That's what Phil Jackson's talent was. He knew how to take Jordan and elevate the rest of the team. See, he knew when Jordan was hot and when he was on, y'all just give him just keep running plays and give him the ball. Because he in that zone right now. Then there was times that Jordan wouldn't be in the zone. He'd be like, all right, Jordan, sit down for a minute. And who comes out of nowhere steps up? Pippen, Rodman, Bill Cartwright. You're like, yo, these dudes is trash and they scoring on us. They're not trash. They're part of the machine. So even when Jordan ain't on the court, Jordan is on the court, manifesting his innate ability to motivate the other players. He has them thinking that they're the best. This is what Jordan used to be yelling at them. Yo, why you missed that shot? Don't miss the next one. Matter of fact, give me the ball. He'll get mad and then he'll drop 60 points. So this is what I mean about when you're a part of something and what you're really doing is just plugging into it. That's what the players did. The other players plugged into the machine that was the Bulls, which was a machine created by Jordan's superior ability and Phil Jackson's ability to know where to put it. He knew exactly what to do with Jordan. Just think about that. Just think about it. I used to be so mad at the Bulls. I'm like, yo, I don't understand how these players are playing like this. These players are garbage. They're not, though. But anyway, that was a good example to use. Favorite player of all time? I don't know. That's hard. I have a list. But Dr. J is on the list. Like I go back because I look at how a player kind of like was created and who they were inspired by. Like Jordan was definitely inspired by Dr. J. You can see it. Other players were inspired by Jordan. You can see Kobe was inspired by Jordan. Like for real. The way that Kobe even did things. It's like, damn, that's how Jordan be doing it. Yep. That's who inspired him. Magic Johnson. Like there's a lot of players that's like crazy. Yeah, but like today, who you got? You got LeBron. Out of the newer ones, I would say my favorite is probably Kobe. Definitely. Yeah, I think Kobe would probably be my favorite because Kobe represents like Jordan and Dr. J to me. Like he has both of those inspirations in his game. Yeah, because the ego was attached. Elevated mindsets will get you farther. Some go about it more angrily than others. Yep. Yeah, because the ego was competitive. Yeah, so that's probably the best analogy that I could use for TA. It's the dynamic that was the Bulls. It's like you knew that it was as a result of Phil Jackson's coaching. You knew that Jordan motivated and inspired the rest of the players. Players that would not have been able to accomplish a lot of the things that they did without having Jordan there. So certain players are like a light, and they inspire the people that are around them. That's how Jordan is. That's how Steph Curry is. That's how LeBron is. That's how Reggie Miller was. Reggie Miller was like that. Team, more of a team player. Barkley, he was more into Barkley. But Barkley was a monster. Charles Barkley, he was ill. Um, who else was a team player? Penny Hardaway, more of a team player. Shaq, beast. And the dynamic of Shaq was that he played with Kobe. And when they got together, it was like, oh, all right, we see what this is. So you got those magical combinations. That was like a magic show. Yeah, Duncan is a team player, definitely. Um, who else can I think off the top of my head? Yeah, that's true. Right. Yeah, it is funny too. When he started working on his free throw shot, he actually started making shots. He couldn't shoot free throws for shit. But don't let him get nowhere near that paint. If he get in the paint, he's dunking. Garnett has the potential to be greater than he is. He's done, like really good, but he really got on my nerves when he made the Nets blow it. What year was that? That wasn't last year, right? 2 years ago? Whatever year it was when the Nets lost to who did they lose to? But anyway, he dropped the ball. And it's like when you have your moment, you can't. Yeah, Miami. Right. When you have your moment, you cannot drop the ball, man. Like everything got to kick in. But that's a very competitive game. So when it comes down to it, it's about who wants it more. In the moment, it's about who wants it more. That's for real. Yeah, and that's because of how LeBron is. See, like a lot of that had to do with how LeBron is, but I look at that like, nah, man. Garnett just dropped it. He had it. He had it. That was it. That was the moment right there. He ain't do it. And it was like it really was nobody else's fault. I know that sounds like it's crazy, but I'm just saying. You get your opportunity to make a statement that people should look at you a certain way. So now, because you didn't do that, no one is going to mention you when they mention other players. Because all they're going to remember is that. that moment. Like, nah, you didn't want it as bad as they did. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yep. But as far as what we do here, with TA, the reason that I use the Bulls as that example is because in the 90s, the Bulls dominated. Like, you just couldn't beat them. I remember I couldn't stand the Bulls. Like, I think that there was one year the Knicks beat the Bulls and they went to the championship that year. They played what team was Hakeem Olajuwon on? The Rockets. Some of y'all might remember this. And I think they went to game 7. And this once again, John Starks had his moment, game 7. And he shot that 3-pointer. And what does Hakeem Olajuwon do? What does he do? He jumps up and hit the tip of his finger. Boop. He tips the ball. And Starks, he misses the 3. And it's over. The Rockets beat the Knicks. I was disgusted. I was disgusted, man. Yep. But that's what it is, man. When you have your moment, like you just gotta make it happen. But for some people, they don't need to prove themselves in a moment. This is the difference. Some players don't have to prove themselves in the moment. They create moments over and over and over and over again. And it's like, damn, they just keep kicking ass. Shit. That's TeamAlliance right there. Yeah, TA, right. Your competition here is you. I like that, Oro. 100%, right, because the blueprint is already done. Exactly. Exactly. I like that. Robert Ory. Shoot the winning shot at the end. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's another one. He's another one. The Jazz. He's another one. He said that OJ was on the run. I remember that too. I remember when they were covering that. I was like, come on, OJ. Better drive faster than that. Like, they got the helicopter. They had the helicopter camera on them. Yeah, we did watch it live. Yep. Definitely watched it live. Yeah, man. All right, man. So I don't even know how we start talking about this. One of y'all brought up basketball. One of y'all start talking about players and stuff. But yeah, man. All right, so we'll see what the market does. Tomorrow being Friday, I will try my best to do a coffee and charts before the market closes. So hopefully I can try to do it like in the morning if I have the time. I actually go get some coffee and then I'll come back and do a coffee and charts. I'll see what happens though. May not have the time, but if I do, I definitely will make the attempt. Do an observation. All right. All right. And aside from that, so this is live market observation volume 66. All right, y'all. So I will see you guys on the next one. So, like I said, I'll try to make my way on tomorrow and do a coffee and charts, but we'll see. And I will see you all momentarily in the group chat. If you want to get into training or you want to reach out on social media, all the links should be underneath the video in the description box. All right. Y'all know what it is. Mark Fuller, TeamAlliance. Love, peace, and soul. Deuces.
Dom de Marco, Dom de Marco.